It feels good to be back here on a Wednesday, breaking down the NBA slate with premier handicapper around the association. Number one, Donnie Rightside, and I might be number two. The two most premier NBA handicappers here on the SportsGrid get you set for a Wednesday night slate in the NBA. Can the Bucks make it lucky number 7 tonight on the road in San Francisco against the Warriors? The odds makers say no. A 4-point spread in favor of Golden State. Milwaukee now the longest active win streak in the NBA. After the Celtics' 11-game win streak came to a close last night, the Bucks have won 6 straight, looking to make it 7. But again, a 4-point number in favor of the Dubs.
Yeah, by the way, the Dubs got cracked the other day by 50-plus points for the Boston Celtics, so certainly licking their wounds as they come home. But if we are looking at maybe the hottest team in the NBA being the Milwaukee Bucks, you say to yourself, FanDuel Sportsbook opened this as a minus 2-point favorite here for the Golden State Warriors, Ben. Now we see this number -4. Oh, yeah, they corrected. It's the Bucks as a minus 4-point favorite. No, it's the Golden State Warriors, and for good reason. Why? Giannis Antetokounmpo struggling a little bit with an Achilles. We don't want to say injury, but I guess Achilles. Yeah. We saw him shooting the other night in pregame warm-ups. Didn't go so well. I don't know if you're the Milwaukee Bucks, Ben, here, as we talk about this game at 10:30 in the morning Eastern time, that you say to yourself, like, yeah, get him out there, see how it works out. You probably want to take this real slow to make sure everything is okay, which is why we're seeing that line move from -2 up to a -4. And quite frankly, I do agree with that. Dame Lillard played very well last game out, and the Milwaukee Bucks won, but now you're on the West Coast here, and also you're taking one of those teams that just got their heads caved in. You know they're going to want to bounce back. It seems to me this line looks like it's a Warriors line to me, and that's the way I'll go, anticipating no Antetokounmpo tonight for those Bucks.
Completely agree. I think that is a baked-in Bucks number right now to see it at +4. Milwaukee has won 6 straight. They have covered in all 6. They have won outright twice as an underdog. They have also gone under in all 6 games on this win streak as well. Yes, Golden State got smacked on Sunday in Boston, losing by 52. That was the 3rd best victory margin in history of the Boston Celtics franchise. That's how big of a number it was. It was an 8-point spread. Golden State, of course, did not cover. But since February, the Warriors have played 16 games. They have won 12 of 16. They have covered the number in all 12 victories. They have also gone under in 13 of 16 since February. If there is no Giannis tonight, and you look at the total standing at 227, I might lean under between Golden State and Milwaukee. Again, we don't know necessarily availability for a game that's going to tip off in nearly 12 hours from now from when we're talking about it. But when you look at the points props, Giannis does have one out there, 31.5. Brandon Podjemski, by the way, the rookie out of Santa Clara by way of Illinois, 9.5. That points prop for him. Just something I thought I would mention, maybe a slight discount. 8-game slate on this Wednesday around the NBA. We stay out on the West Coast. From Northern California, we go down south. The Lakers hosting the Sacramento Kings. 3-point number in favor of LA, over under 239.5. The Kings have been a better cover team as an underdog this year. What will they do against Los Angeles?
Yeah, 2.5 line opened up. Now we're seeing it, as you saw that graphic, at 3.5, back down to 3 here at the FanDuel Sportsbook on a live number, a total of 239.5. The one thing we do know about the Kings, they like to play with tempo, and the Lakers have no problem with matching your tempo with their own. I do like the way the Los Angeles Lakers are playing here, but the questionable status that we're going to get on LeBron James maybe the rest of the way on that ankle does have me a little bit leery here. Do I want to lay points here with the Los Angeles Lakers with a chance that LeBron James sits this game out? Not necessarily, but let's just say we are going to get LeBron James, who's in the estimated starting lineup tonight. I'm just not happy with the Sacramento Kings, the way they're playing basketball. Domantas Sabonis, yeah, he might go out and get 18 points and 21 rebounds, and quite frankly, that hasn't been enough for them over the past couple games. Talented roster, it's probably the Kings, but I'm going to take the Los Angeles Lakers at home. LeBron James and Anthony Davis are in that starting lineup. I like that number at -3 sitting there at the FanDuel Sportsbook. That's a strong look for the Los Angeles Lakers, looking to cement themselves in the playoff race, which means maybe a top 6 seed as opposed to playing in the in-play-in games. I think this is going to be a big night here. Los Angeles Lakers should be going full gas until they get out of that play-in tournament.
So the Lakers have won 4 of 6 since the All-Star break, but they have only covered twice in that span. both as a short underdog, winning outright. The Kings this year straight up as a dog, 9-11. That's straight up. Against the number as an underdog for Sacramento, 12-8 ATS. So again, better as a dog than as a favorite covering numbers. Just something to keep in mind when you see that spread. The Clippers have been struggling since returning from the All-Star break, but still booked as a 6.5-point road favorite tonight in Houston against the Rockets. The over-under stands at 223.
Yeah, anticipated starting lineup has the big three intact here for the Clippers, and that's the way you're certainly going to lean. An opening number of 6 is now going up to 6.5. But how about this? The Rockets at 225.5 total that opened up at the FanDuel Sportsbook, now down to 223. So that has my attention a little bit. I mean, if we can get a normal Clippers night out of the big three where Harden's playing well along with Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, they should put up points. And the Rockets certainly aren't looking for wins at this point and maybe not caring all that much on the defensive side. I look for a total to the over, but I think it's a good spot here for the Clippers to settle in and get a double-digit victory. I think they handle their business on the road against Houston.
7 games for LA since the All-Star break. The Clips have lost 4 of those 7. They have been booked as a single-digit favorite 4 times. They have not covered the number in any of those 4 games. That total working its way down to 23. The Clippers under in 5 of 7. When you look at the Rockets this year, an underdog now in 41 games, make it 42 tonight, getting 6.5. 19, 21, and 1 against the number. Not the worst cover percentage as an underdog this year, but to Donnie's point, not really in play in contention. They sit 5.5 back of Golden State with the Jazz in front of them. Utah 5 games back. Really, Donnie, it's been the same story in those conference standings in both the East and the West for the teams we expected to be in the play-in tournament. Maybe some shuffling of the seed lines within those 10 teams and the teams on the outside. That's really remained the same. As we keep it moving, can Utah make that move? They're 5 games back of the play-in tournament out west, a 4-point number as an underdog tonight at home against the Chicago Bulls. Chicago right now in the 9th spot in the Eastern Conference, 2 in front of Atlanta, who's in 10. The Hawks 2.5 in front of the Brooklyn Nets on the outside looking in. 2 play-in potential teams with Chicago firmly in that spot, laying 4 on the road in Salt Lake.
Yeah, this is nice for the Chicago Bulls being a favorite in this game. And let's also take a look at the FanDuel Sportsbook opening this game, Ben, as a 3.5-point favorite, not to the Bulls, but to the Utah Jazz. Now we've seen that completely swing over as the live number is sitting now at a -4 and a total of 223.5. The interesting part about this is not that the Utah Jazz are trying to make a playoff push, but they're so injured. I don't know if that push is going to come now. Lauri Markkanen is going to miss this game. Numerous other players also questionable and maybe missing this game as well. That's why you have that big line swing. And also the Chicago Bulls have found something there with their starting lineup here, playing quality basketball down the stretch. And you're taking a look at teams like the New York Knicks, like the Philadelphia 76ers, maybe even, Cleveland at this point, where you're saying maybe they can slip back into that in-game and that in-play in series, but also where they can take a step here and move into that top 6 here for the Bulls, a team that we probably had dead and buried just a few short weeks ago, now have some life. I like the Chicago Bulls tonight in elevation. I think they take care of their business. It's a healthy team playing well versus a non-healthy team that, quite frankly, coming out of the All-Star break, we weren't giving much kudos to healthy or not healthy that Utah could even get into the in-playing game series. Come on.
And listen, there is a reason that line has worked heavily in favor of Chicago, a 4-point number. It's not even a 1.5. It's a 4-point spread in favor of the Bulls. 6 games for Chicago since the All-Star break. They have split them. Loss, win, loss, win, loss, win is what they're coming off of. They have won all 3 games outright as an underdog. Utah as a home dog tonight, 11-6 against the spread so far this season. Another game to pay attention to, the Washington Wizards. They have lost 15 consecutive games. They're getting 7.5 points tonight at home against Orlando. Could the streak come to a close tonight? The odds makers don't believe so.
No, I don't think so either. Opened up at 7, now it's up to 7.5, so the bet's certainly going that direction of the Orlando Magic. Here's what you're getting at the end of the season, Ben, right? Winding down. Do the Washington Wizards care about winning a single basketball game? No. They want as many ping-pong balls as possible for next year's draft. So if you take a look at the Magic, who are playing for their playoff lives here to try to stay out of those play-in rounds, you got to win these games. They'll win this game, and it's simple for me. If you bet the Wizards in this game, they cover, fantastic. You got to win. But chances are you'll watch this game play out and be like, I just took a team that doesn't care about winning versus a team that absolutely needs to win. What are we doing here? Now, granted, it's not a pick-em game. It's not just Washington can, hold on in this one. They're getting 7.5 points, but I'm not trusting them. Give me the Orlando Magic on the road tonight. I'll take them winning by double digits over the hapless Wizards.
The Orlando Magic, the best cover team in the NBA, 41-21 against the spread. Orlando now, courtesy of a 4-game win streak, is in that 4 spot in the Eastern Conference. They are trying to host a playoff series this year in Orlando. This game means everything. Lay the 7.5 with the Magic. The Wiz have covered 6 times in this 15-game skid. In every one of those games, Washington has been booked as a double-digit underdog. This is a single-digit number. Again, Orlando has won 4 straight. They have covered in all 4. They have gone under in all 4 games. Washington, meanwhile, not the best defensively. They've been over in 6 of the last